I learned so much. I'll tell you my first car ride as far as being hired in the WCW, when Dusty hired me in WCW. Me and George South was just talking about this last weekend at Raleigh. We had a show in Raleigh, and I was going and doing TVs in WCW, and George and Stal trained me, Italian Stallion and Gorgeous George South. Well, they trained me, and they were taking me to do TVs. Well, I did a few, and then Cowboy Bill Watts come in. He took over, him and Dusty and Barry Windham, and of course we lived with Barry for a while. Bill Watts wanted me to work Eric at Center Stage in Atlanta one night on TV. So I rode down with George and Italian Stallion, just brought my gear and what I was wearing. Well, I have a hell of a match with Eric Watts on WCW and Center Stage. So we're getting ready to leave. Arn comes up and Jody and says, Dusty and Bill Watts want you to go work on the road with Eric for a week. So I didn't have any money with me and no clothes. So all the boys were like giving me these clothes. Arn gave me some Zubats to wear. And, but that's how I got my job, was working Eric in Texas. We had like a Texas loop. And my first car ride was Harley Race was driving. Barbarian was sitting in the front with him, and Hercules Hernandez was in the back with me. Now, this is my first road trip. Everybody's drinking pretty heavily, and Barbarian had to put me to bed that night. So me and him talked about that last weekend. But, pretty intense group to be put on the road with for your first road trip.
That's a snake pit of tough guys right there. I can't even imagine what the conversation is, but that's so what is it? So what is a car ride with Barbarian, Harley Race, and Hercules Hernandez like? Is it Harley holding court and telling all the war stories, or is it everybody kind of throwing in their 2 cents?
Well, Harley's in control, and and I didn't say a friggin' word. I sat there with my damn mouth shut. But Harley would say, "Kid, when you hear the can crush, get me another beer." So that always stuck with me. But yeah, Barbarian and Hercules, I was just with Barbarian. I spent a weekend with him and his family in Charlotte, and that was in '93. And he was telling me he said, "You remember coming to my house?" I said, "Hell yeah." We ate like his wife, Mama, man, she cooked some good Samoan food that night. And Barbarian's a great guy. Warlord. Tugboat was there last weekend. Got to hang out with him. Bobby Fulton. So it was a good weekend too.